did finish up that that Hydralisk den, and it's just marching across the map trying to deal with this Terran player. Silvercoat just trying to pump out whatever units he can to actually deal with this mess. Ooh, actually nice drag there. But it just doesn't seem like it's going to be enough. Namshar is now in the natural of the Terran player. It's going to shred the rest of these SCVs, I believe. There are a couple of battle mech units popping out of the factories now. Oh man, GG's going to be called. And Namshar takes the second game. All right, well done to our Zerg player there. Namshar really, really just showing him what's up. I believe, all right. I do apologize. 1 second. Alright, we're going to take a quick break, and I believe we have more games to cast. Yep, so stick around. We'll be back in a few minutes. All right, we are back. Be continuing Storm Gaming versus Platoon matches. And we will be moving on to set 3. Super exciting stuff, super great games today. And with that being said, let's go ahead and hop into our next set. Alright, spawning in the bottom right-hand side of Babylon. It's going to be the red Protoss player, Art. And on the top left-hand side, the blue Terran player, Nicoract. Nothing too out of the ordinary for either player. Storm representative going for that classic. I believe this is just going to be a Reaper expand opening. Platoon representative. Oh, a little bit of a pause there. It's actually a double gateway opening. It's kind of reminiscent of like a PvP opener. So it looks like Art's going to want to get aggressive right off the bat. You have the SCV coming across the map. Almost managed to block that off, but not quite. It's going to see that this is a double gate opening. So it'll be interesting to see how Nicoract decides to respond to this. Yeah, just going to put a bunker down at the top of the ramp. Kind of closer to the command center. As long as you get as long as you can get like coverage on the ramp, should be good. Reaper's going to be moving across the map, getting some scouting information. Art actually going for double adept. So this could potentially get spooky for the Terran. Adept actually might... Nope. Does not manage to get the Reaper. Both the Adepts are now going to be moving across the map. Reaper is rotating to try and get information, or jump up here and get some information, potentially. Third Adept is now out for the Protoss player. Is Shade moving across the map into the Terra Natural. Meanwhile, Nicoract trying to get as much scouting information as possible before... Did anybody else see that? Alright, Nicoract's... I do apologize. A couple of Marines do pop out, and they manage to get to the bunker. Hyperion is now out for the Terran player as well. There's not really too much more they can do at this point. They can keep holding the natural for a little while. It's actually going to manage to pick off that... yeah, manages to pick off the SCV. Alright, this looks like a fairly standard 3-1-1 opener for the Terran player. Grabbing a Cyclone just in case. Just to be a little bit safer. Meanwhile, Art has gone for a Robo Bay. Robo Bay. That's just going to be trying to grab some Colossi before expanding to the third base, just to be a little bit safe. The player's just trying to be safe here. Raven's going to be on the way now. Oh. There wasn't even a chance. That was actually a really cool, like, complete wall of the ramp there by Art. A lot of respect to him. Now, we do have the... Oh, he's actually trying to chase down this, this little peepee boy. Does see that the, Robo is producing, but I don't think he actually saw... Uh-oh. Raven actually being caught out on the map. Stalkers have kind of free reign right now. We've been just kind of peeking around, trying to see what's up. Well, on the other side of the map, we do have that Stimpack +1 and combat shields on the way now. Be just in time for a good, solid 3-1-1 push. Protoss is aware that this is happening, grabbing a couple of extra shield batteries just in case. Twilight Council on the way. Now, that being said, Nicoract did use his Raven for harassment. So he's not going to have any energy to actually be able to disable any Colossi the moment that he wants to push out. Like, if we look right now, yeah, it's only 30 energy. So this could be a little bit sketchy when he decides to push out. Custom Shell on the way, just waiting on that +1 now. Both of those medevacs. Art sending out a hallucinated Phoenix. It's kind of funny because Protoss players use Phoenix to scout, but they don't use scouts to scout in Brood War. Some food for thought. These are the things that my tired brain come up with sometimes. Alright, so we did get a scan ahead. We do see that this is actually a pretty formidable Protoss army to deal with. It looks like, yeah, Nicoract's just going to back up at this point. There's not really much he can do to try and contest this at this point, and it is probably for the best to just back up. There's no need to really like lose any units unnecessarily. Can always set up for another push when you need to. Another hallucinated scout that is a Phoenix. I'm going to try and be just as confusing as possible with that in the future. Alright, so Art has actually... I was going to say powering up on 3 bases, but it looks like we've cut workers at 57. We're going for extra gateways, Templar Archives. Now we do have a 2 medevac drop here to the north of Art's base. And looks like he's going to be setting up a another push here. Now the pylon should be able to spot this, and he's got his army moved into position to engage either into this ramp or over here. Oop. Yep, actually spots that. It's trying to move into position to actually engage this army. Actually, probably moving out of position at this point. The 2 medevac drop is going to come in here. It's going to take out plenty of probes, and it looks like Art's actually going to split his army up, try to deal with the army here in his natural. Split the other part of his army to try and engage into Nicoract's main army, but then decides better of it. I mean, unfortunately, that just got a lot of damage done. There's 22 probes down. A bit unfortunate. Meanwhile, Nicoract is kind of going into that late game tech. We see the Ghost Academy on the way. I'm sure soon we're probably going to see a fusion core for Liberator range. Just have some of those really high-powered Terran units out on the field here soon. Double bunker here at the third base. I think Nicoract's a little bit nervous, and he has every right to be. A huge Protoss army is moving into his third base now. Looks like he's going to try and just try and deal with this, but that's just a lot of Protoss. Art does decide to back up here. Evacuated the base completely. We can't lose that command center, Nicoract. Ooh, actual full recall there. Oh! Terran player had actually been harassing here at the bottom. Really well done. Art trying to chase these bad boys down. Terran player's actually gotten a ton of damage done, but this Protoss army is still pretty fearsome. Actually, it's becoming less and less fearsome as Nicoract techs up. You have Ghosts on the way, as well as a couple of Vikings to deal with the Colossi. Nicoract is going to see this army move into position. I don't know. Stalkers blink down to try and engage into the SCVs. Nice, ooh, really nice force fields down here, splitting up Nicoract's army. Oh, he's really just jammed up here now. The bio does try to back up. I think at this point, though, Nicoract might... No, Nicoract actually might not have enough to actually deal with this. There is a couple of Immortals in there picking away at the Marauders. Ooh, wow. It looks like Art has actually managed to break in. GG, Platoon takes another map. Really well done by Art there. His force fields at the end, I think, really helped seal the deal. Alright, we'll be hopping into game number 2 of this set. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, spawning in the bottom right hand side at Dragon Scales, representing Psystorm Gaming, it is Nicoract. And spawning in the top left hand side is the red Protoss player representing Platoon, it is Art. Alright, looks like a pretty standard affair from both players so far. Gateway Scout. You know, I really do have to give it to the map makers of our community. They make some absolutely gorgeous to look at maps. Like, it does kind of it is kind of sad sometimes because we really get into the like whenever we're playing a very like high stress game of StarCraft 2, just a high stress match, a lot of these like cool little details of the maps kind of slip away as you're focusing on your macro and your micro and whatnot. It seems like some of these details just kind of boil down to, yeah, like, yes, that's ramp. Like you don't see any of the spiky stuff. It's just like ramp, choke, stuff like that. But these actually are some really gorgeous maps. Also, marine opening. Grabbing that second gas, fairly standard stuff. But I've never even noticed that there are like these kind of like crystalline structures here. Or like some of these like flashes of energy. It's like the void's beckoning to enter these crevices. Really cool stuff. Factory on the way now for our Terran player. Do you have a second gate on the way? So this time we do have 3 Marines, which will be more than enough to actually deal with the Adept, especially with the proper micro. Oh, 5 Marines, now you don't even have to micro it. Adept getting some more scouting information down. I don't think he's actually going to... Oh yeah, he is going to try and engage into this. Well, unfortunately for Art, Nicoract actually did have a couple of units in position. Oh. Did get 1 worker. Not the biggest deal. Is actually moving all of his Marines across the map. That... Wait, was that intentional? Did he mean to do that? That doesn't feel right. Alright, looked like Art was aiming to get a 3rd base there, but Nicoract. I do apologize. I've been yawning all cast. Nicoract's Hellion poking around. Still going to get the 3rd base on the triangle location. Blink almost finished for our Protoss player. There was a second where he put a bunker here, and I'm not... Oh. Nice little mine drop coming in. Good response from Art. Triggering them with only 1 pro per. Setting up a couple of viewing positions just to see what the Terran's up to and to make sure they're not trying to drop on the base. Hellion getting pushed back. Nicoract going to make another attempt. Art once again, excellent reaction. Oh. Oh, Art actually some really nice micro there with the stalkers, managing to trap those mines and actually be able to take them out. This Hellion is still poking around. That being said, we do have a fairly scary tank push coming in now. Moving right down the middle of the map. I'm not sure if Art actually saw it. He might have seen like some of the army moving out. But he does have a lot of stalkers in position. Oh. Right. Tanks are going to be sieging up now. Unfortunately, Stem isn't quite done, so the Marines are going to have a bit of a hard time chasing down stalkers if they need to. Quick scan just to verify that they're still there. Slowly moving the tanks up to try and pick away at the Nexus if they can. Alright, there might be enough stalkers here to actually do... Ooh, nice blink in. It's going to take out both of the tanks, unfortunately. Why did I say unfortunately? That's great for Art. I think my Terran bias just showed there for a second. I do apologize. That was terrible. It was terrible for Nicoract. Great for Art. Oh no. It's still shining through. Send help. 3rd base on the way now for Nicoract. It looks like we're going for a big gateway energy this go around. Grabbing a warp prism. Charge just finished up. Nicoract is trying to get something done here, but there's not really... Well, for starters, I mean, gathering up underneath an observer is not the greatest idea. They are hard to see, though. Let's just give them that. Breaking off a couple of Marines. Just making this into a 2 medevac drop instead of a 3. Ooh. Man, they almost caught that warp prism. This Protoss army, though, is going to be able to respawn, push these Marines all the way back. Being said, we do have reinforcements here at the 3rd base for Nicoract, so Art isn't actually going to be able to continue pushing into this. If he's smart, yeah, if he's smart, he'll back away. Do have a warp in down here. So it looks like Protoss player is going to want to go for some multi-prong. Seems like Nicoract has an idea of what Art wants to try and do. I believe he did spot the prism, so he's going to be hanging out here and trying to pick it off when he can. Boop. Big attack here into the natural by Art. Nicoract's sort of out of position, but I mean, the distance between these two ramps is fairly small. I don't know. Oh no! He moved it! Alright. Well, Nicoract, good luck. You got 2 armies to deal with now. Honestly, at this point, Art can probably just back away with this army. These zealots are going to get an incredible amount of damage done. Already evacuating the, or dealing with the entire mineral line here. Nicoract pulling his army back to try and deal with some of these zealots. Actually, did they really get that much damage done? I mean, they delayed a bit of mining time. They killed 5 SCVs. But, I mean, an add-on... I don't actually think that was, like, the worst thing ever, to be honest with you. Sure, it's annoying, and it's annoying as the Terran player to have to, like, reset all of this stuff. Or, like, just the stress of having to deal with a Zealot warp in. But I really don't think it was that much damage. Nicoract slightly ahead in economy. Just not... You don't want to be in that position as a Protoss player. Trying to engage to the choke, but the Colossus is there. It's going to be able to swipe away at this pretty effectively. Only parts of Nicoract's army are actually engaging into this. Slowing them down with the Widow Mines. Looks like there was another warp in here. 3rd base was evacuated. Alright, back at the front. Ooh, big blinking by Art. And it looks like this army might get cleaned up. Oh god, yeah. I think Nicoract actually saw that warp prism come back in. I mean, his army here is like devastated. But also the fact that this warp prism is about to come in and just ruin his day again. Yeah. All right, so that actually puts us on the ace match. Good games by both players. All right, this is going to be our last match of the day between Psystorm Gaming and Platoon. And it looks like we're going to have a ZVZ on our hands. Oh, that's exciting. Here we go. Let's get into this ace match. Alright, here we are on Neo Humanity, spawning in the top left-hand side, representing Psystorm Gaming. It is Namshar. And on the other side of the map, representing Platoon, it is Nikich. CVZs always do feel They do feel pretty fun to cast, to be honest. There's so much chaotic energy going around in a ZVZ. Actually, looks like we're going for a pretty standard opening here for both players. Both players doing a well, it's a fairly standard macro setup. No pools, no pool first, no 13-12. Just hatchery first. I guess that makes sense because it does seem like this map has pretty long rush distance, I would say. Pools coming up for both players. I like where Namshar's putting his. Like he plans on like if he needs to wall this off, he can wall this off with the pool. At least that's what I'm assuming this is the point of this is. Yeah, both players exact same build order for right now. Pools finishing up for both players. This might be where we start seeing some divergence. I mean, as soon as I say that, I'm just immediately wrong. The only divergence was the fact that Namshar got an Overlord and Nikich did not. Circlings are going to be poking around the map here a little bit, getting a little scouting information done. Oh my god, their bases are even going down at almost the exact same time too. And their two Zerglings are going to be engaging at the same time. Well, engaging at the same time, but the Queen poked around at these. Namshar's going to try and nope. Namshar really wants to get some information on the natural base, but he's not going to be able to get it done yet. Alright, Baneling Nest halfway done for the Keech, about a third of the way done for Namshar. Namshar also going for a evolution chamber a little bit faster, as well as a big swarm of Zerglings. It looks like he's going to just cut at 24 and try to make some magic happen here. Alright, he's going to try to engage to the third base of Nikish. The Queens are trying to poke forward here just a little bit. Banelings are still oh, they're almost done. So I'm sure that's going to be an excellent deterrent here. Yep, Namshar is going to back away now, knowing that there are a couple of pops one of them. Just needs to pop the other one and might be able to engage into this a little bit better. Now the Keech during this has actually started going into a Roach Warren. So he kind of wants to skip over this Ling Bane phase as much as possible. Meanwhile, Namshar is kind of sticking with the Ling Bane composition. Also worth noting is that they've been kind of staying neck and neck when it comes to workers right now. It's always interesting to see top level ZVZs because they really know when they can cut workers and when they can't, and they usually do a pretty good job of it too. All right, I believe Namshar might have seen this. I'm not 100% sure.
Swarm forces.
Oh, he did.
Attack.
He actually did see that, so he's making his own Roach Warren, but he's gonna have to hold. He's gonna be short on roaches if Nikich decides to start investing in that. Layer on the way now for Nikich. A couple of Zerglings getting to the main base, not the biggest of deals. And Nikich is just kind of, oh, what is this what is this Queen doing out here? Wow. Zergling's just they're trying to make something happen at the third base, but it's just not really going to happen, I don't think. That being said, Nikita's trying to stay in Namshar's face as much as possible. Namshar's first couple of roaches have come out onto the field. Oh, Nikita actually probably could have got in. Alright, Namshar pushing across the map here now. He does have a slight roach advantage, but it's going to take him forever to actually get across the field. Plus, Nikisha's... Oh boy. Actually, really nice micro there by Nikish. I was trying to say that Nikish's defender advantage is going to absolutely make this more difficult for Namshar to engage into, especially on a map that feels this long. A couple of Zerglings setting up for a run by. I imagine this is going to get turned into Banelings here. It seems like... Interesting. So Nikisha's... it's going to have faster roach speed, but slower +2. Alright, we do have a big attack coming here from the eastern side. Namshar is aware, is trying to back up some of the roaches. He was dealing with something over here on the west side. Oh, Baneling's tried to bust in, but Namshar already had a queen in position. Roaches are going to have to back up. Namshar is trying to fight here, but there's just too many roaches from Nikish. Looks like, yeah, he's actually going to manage to basically eliminate this army. Oh no, the roaches are stuck behind the queens! No! Oh, that is super unfortunate. You gotta move the queen. Namshar now pulling drones to try and engage into this roach army. Oh, yep, now he pulls the queen out. But is it too late? It might be too late. I think Defender's advantage might... Yeah, okay. So I think Defender's advantage actually gave him, well, an advantage. Oh, man. I think he would have taken less losses, though, if he had just had the queen... Or, like, just pulled the queen out of the hole quickly. That being said, Nikisha's going to try and break into here again. I don't know if that is necessarily the correct option. Yeah, Namshar is going to be able to push that back quite effectively. A couple of roaches are trying to... Actually managed to take out 6... Wow, 6 drones there. Now, yeah, it seems like Nikisha's actually doing a pretty good job of just picking away at Namshar when he can. That being said, Namshar just shoots ahead in workers again. Alright, Nikisha's trying to buy himself a little bit of space, breaking down the coolant towers. Namshar's not going to be able to use this access way anymore. And it looks like we're going to start moving into the late game here. Namshar going for the Hydralisk Den. I imagine Lurkers will be following soon after, as well as Tunneling Claws. That's always an excellent harassment option if you ever have the chance. Actually, if you ever have the chance, try it in lower leagues. Just make burrow roaches and see what happens. Don't do it to me, though. I beg you, don't do it to me. Nikisha's going to try and push in here again. This is actually a lot of roaches. This actually might be too many roaches for Namshar to actually contend with. There's some extra damage from the Spine Crawler. And Nikisha decides to back away here. That Spine Crawler is actually serving as an excellent anchor point for this base. Alright, Nikisha's going to try and engage into the 4th base now. Try and surround from the top side. It's not quite working out the way he wants it to. Namshar excellently engaging into the Zerg where he can. Oh my god, he's surrounded himself. Wow. Alright, Tunneling Claws is now finishing up for Namshar, so we'll probably see him break off a couple of roaches to send to some of Nikishi's auxiliary bases. There we go. Now the question is, has Nikish actually seen Namshar's now glowing roaches, little glowing spikes on them? Be interesting to see. More roaches on the way. Lurker Den. Ooh. It looks like, yeah, Namshar is just getting into that late game tech, while Nikish is trying to stick on this this mid game composition. If he doesn't start transitioning soon, he's actually going to be in for a world of hurt. Like, if he wants to stick with this, he has to end the game, like, very, very soon. But I don't think he has the... He doesn't have the economy or really anything to finish this out now. He's going to try and also do some Burrowed Roach shenanigans, but I don't know. I think even if he does kill a bunch of drones, like, he's still going to be just... He might just be too far behind. I mean, I say that, but he does have a rather significant army. More Burrowed Roaches. Alright, here we go. They have popped up into the natural. They popped up here into the fourth. Namshar splits off units to deal with both of them. 5 drones have gone down so far. Oh gosh. That number is just going to keep ticking up. Alright, burrows and saves this one. Might actually... Oh. Nope, we're going to spot that. Another Overseer is being moved down to over here. We do have more Burrowed Roaches moving into the 4th base of Nikish. Large move out from Nikish into Namshar's 4th base, and it looks like Namshar has decided to go ahead and activate these roaches as well. Namshar does see that this move out is occurring. We do have the first lurkers out on the field. We don't have seismic spines yet or quick burrow, but this is going to get kind of sketchy. Namshar's had enough time and has been defending well enough that you can actually get out this higher tech army. And this is going to be difficult for Nikish to actually deal with. There's a lot of damage going down in Nikish's base right now from the Burrowed Roaches, so you might be feeling a little bit pressure to actually finish out the game now. Yep, Defender's Advantage is going to be able to take care of those roaches. 15 drones have gone down, which is not great for Nikish. Oh, we actually managed to catch part of Namshar's army, like, kind of separated off. It's a bit unfortunate. More Burrowed Roach shenanigans over here at the 4th base. Nikish tries to push into the 4th base once again. Now this is just turning into chaos. Oop, nice unburrow there by Namshar, getting him out of the way. And Nikish is still trying to crack into this base, but it's just not quite happening. Seismic Spine is going to finish up here soon, so now it's going to become even more impossible for Nikish to actually break into these bases. So far, Namshar just feels like he needs to hold. Once the Seismic Spines are done, he should feel a lot more comfortable. Making 16 roaches at once now. Alright. Excellent Unburrow Micro, keeping out of the corrosive files. Quick Burrow is also on the way. Oh, we actually... Oh, that's unfortunate. So we actually did have a counterattack here. Or, not a counterattack, but Nikish is doing a little bit of harassment with his own burrowed roaches. Managed to take out some of... Namshar's drones, as well as prevent some mining time here. So there is a possibility. He could potentially just keep causing these little disruptions, throwing Namshar off of his game, reducing his worker count as much as possible, and then could potentially just overpower him with the Roach Ravager. I'm still really nervous because lurkers are scary. Lurkers are terrifying units. I love that it's just this Ravager standing in a cloud of dust. Have you guys never seen a Burrowed Roach move around? It just looks like a dust cloud moving. Sometimes it can be hard to pick up on. Alright, Namshar opening up a couple of access ways in order to have a quicker route to deal with the Nikish. Oh, he killed his own overlord. Oh no. Counterattack occurring at Namshar's 4th base location. Completely routed by the existence of lurkers. Namshar's doing a pretty good job of like splitting off bits of army to deal with some of these units. Oop, big attack here is actually going to catch a couple of these lurkers out of position. Oh yeah, this is actually, it's not great for Namshar, but I mean he's still so. Oh, I was going to say he's still so far up, but then 13 roaches into the production queue. Let's actually look at the numbers right now. 24 roaches, 16 ravagers. It's I mean this is becoming more and more supply inefficient as the game goes on for Nikich. Like sure it's cheap and quickly made, but I mean lurkers are going to just absolutely shred it. Being said, Namshar is going to be up 2 upgrades here in just a second. +3 armor will be finishing. And it's going to become even hard for Nikich to actually engage into his army. Being said, Nikich is actively sniping some of these lurkers, making it more and more... whoop. Another set of roaches. I gotta say, Nikich is really good with this mid-game army. A couple lurkers down here harassing the base. Not the biggest of deals, I guess. Oh, I failed to realize it, but Nikich is actually teched up on his own. We've got 18 Hydras on the field, a couple of Vipers. Oh, that's a lot of burrowed roaches. Alright, so now we are truly in the ZVZ late game. Lurker Viper, or Lurker Hydra Viper versus Lurker Hydra Viper. Let's see, what are the numbers? What do we got? So, Namshar definitely has the advantage when it comes to Lurker and Viper count. Boy. Alright, we have a bit of a run by here. Yeah, this shouldn't really be able to do too much. Actually does manage to pick up a Lurker. No, yeah. We have a lot of burrowed roaches moving into the main base of the Nikich. Actually splitting a couple off to just kind of hang out here. That's a good call. Also, more burrowed roaches attacking into the 4th base, taking out a ton of workers. Yikes. Alright, so Nikich definitely knows that these are here, but he does not have a... uh-oh. Alright, we have a couple of pulls on the lurkers here. Actually does almost manages to snipe that that last lurker. This is... Oh, this is wild. I can't believe Namshar is actually losing this fight. I thought for sure he would have like enough to actually break into here, but it looks like no. And that being said, Nikich is he is significantly down on workers, and he's down about 40 army supply with no bank. So this is going to get very sketchy for him very quickly. A lot of unit movement occurring in Namshar's base, moving up to the front to actually deal with this. Nikich was just a little bit too far away from his lurkers, lost a lot of army there, and now he is significantly behind an army. Nice pulls there by Namshar, dislodging some of these lurkers, sniping them off. Yeah, and Nikich just feels like he has to continue sniping or fighting into this. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, the burrowed roaches are really getting a lot of damage done. Another 10 workers go down, and it looks like they're actually gonna be able to snipe a hatchery or something. More good pulls here from the Vipers, and it looks like yeah, Nikich actually, yeah, Namshar's gonna clean up. Nikich, or jeez, Namshar, brings it home in the ace match for Psystorm Gaming.